Continuing to follow that breaking news out of our nation's capital, a woman from Cincinnati was on board the American Airlines flight involved in the deadly mid-air collision with that Army helicopter in D.C. These are photos of Elizabeth Ann Keys. Her mother sent them to WCPO 9 along with some of the details about Elizabeth. Yesterday, in fact, was her 33rd birthday. She was a 2010 graduate of Madeira High School as well. Her mother says she was the co-valedictorian. She was working as an attorney in Washington, D.C. Her family describes her as being strong, fearless, and funny, and said gatherings were better when Liz was always there. Our deepest condolences go out to both her family, the entire Madeira community, and Greater Cincinnati overall, if you knew her. Thank you so much for joining me here at 6 o'clock. A tough day here, here at WCPO 9 News. Tanya is off this week. It's the deadliest commercial plane crash, though, in U.S. history in 15 years. Today, the nation remains in shock as agencies investigate what led to this tragedy that cost the lives of 67 innocent people. We're going to take a live look at the wreckage there. It still remains the bitterly cold Potomac River. 28 bodies have been recovered so far, they say. Authorities say one of those victims was pulled from the U.S. Army helicopter that collided with the passenger jet last night. The National Transportation Safety Board is leading a probe into the collision.
There's a lot of people hurting today. We will help find out what happened. We will do it factually, and we will do it accurately.
While the investigation continues, we want to bring in WCPO 9 News reporter Andrew Rowan. He's been following all these developments today. He's actually live at Northland Ice Rink in Evendale. Andrew, this tragedy obviously hitting home for the Cincinnati figure skating community.
That's right, Craig. Some of the victims on that flight were some of the country's young, most promising figure skaters, and they were known by some of the accomplished figure skaters who practice here in Evendale. They competed against each other, they practiced with each other, and tonight these skaters here are trying to wrap their head around what happened in one of the U.S.'s biggest aviation disasters in over a decade.
At this point, we don't believe there are any survivors.
American Airlines Flight 5342 from Wichita, Kansas was on final approach to D.C.'s Reagan National Airport. This video captures the moment it was hit by a Black Hawk helicopter on a training flight, a ball of fire plunging into the Potomac River.
At this time, we don't know why the military aircraft came into the path of the PSA aircraft.
First responders are working to recover the 60 airplane passengers and 4 crew members, plus the 3 soldiers from the helicopter.
It was a fairly experienced crew, and that was doing a required annual night evaluation. They did have night vision goggles.
Joyce and Bob Bouchard arrived at CVG from neighboring Dulles Airport, but their sons were bumped from a flight to Reagan.
We knew their flights were canceled, so we were wondering what was going on with us. So
it's a horrible tragedy that you can't understand how it could, how it could happen.
I'm still young and I don't know how to process things like this.
Myra Moskowitz and her brother Quinn are among the top figure skaters in the country, and so were several of the athletes on board Flight 5342. They were returning from a selective figure skating development camp.
We did a practice ice with them in Boston, and I was like, wow, these guys are really good.
Tonight, they are skating with heavy hearts.
The kids who have dreams, they can honor them.
And honoring the legacy.
I know that if they were still here, they would probably be skating right now.
Of those who no longer can.
You fall, you get up, you go through a tragedy, and you come together and try to get stronger from that point on.
Craig, there are a lot of questions tonight about how this could have happened. We know the NTSB is investigating, and they say at this point they do not yet have the black boxes from the airplane and the helicopter, but they say that is not unusual for this point in a water investigation. Federal agencies, though, they are reminding Americans that air travel is safe. Craig?
Andrew Rowan reporting live tonight in Evendale. Andrew, thank you.